The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hi, everyone. I'm Mary Twist with the Corporate Service Team at OTC Markets Group. Thank you for joining us as we introduce the new suite of issuer-direct products and services exclusively for our OTCQB and OTCQX companies. Before we begin, there are a few housekeeping items to go over. First, we'll be taking questions during a question and answer period at the end of the presentation. So please submit your questions through the GoToWebinar dashboard at any time. Secondly, we have provided a marketing brochure that highlights the services we will be covering. Please feel free to download this at your convenience at any point during the duration of this webinar. Lastly, if you dialed into the webinar using your phone, please disconnect and use your computer audio. I apologize for any inconvenience, but if you are dialed in through your phone, you will not be able to hear the demonstration portion of this webinar. So thanks so much for your attention, and we hope you enjoy the webinar. I'm joined here today by James Michael, the Vice President of North American Sales at IssuerDirect. Looking briefly now at the agenda, James and I will be walking through the various cost-effective investor relations, disclosure, and communications platforms that are now available to our OTCQB and OTCQX companies. We will provide a live demonstration on how to access these products through the OTCIQ portal and demonstrate their uses and benefits. We will have time again at the end to answer any questions that you might have. To get us started, I'll now pass it over to James to introduce yourself and IssuerDirect.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Mary. My name is James Michael. I'm with IssuerDirect. IssuerDirect has been in the compliance and communications arena for over a decade. We help public companies to navigate the regulatory maze and the shareholder communications maze to give products and solutions to make all this stuff easier, faster, less expensive. So we've got over 2,300 customers globally. We're the 4th largest newswire in North America. We are the 10th largest transfer agent in the country, and we have global operations to be able to facilitate the needs of our clients. We work with some of the world's largest public companies, but we also work with some of the world's smallest public companies. And what we're going to talk about today with the OTC Alliance is how we've put together some packages to be able to help the small and micro-cap companies to really reduce the overall cost of being public and to make sure that there are workflow solutions that you can take advantage of the latest and greatest technology through the OTCIQ platform. As IssuerDirect, we're very heavy in the financial and regulatory compliance space, both as a full-service outsourced financial printer, as well as offering software for companies to be able to manage and file documents with the SEC themselves. We own AccessWire, which is one of the 4 major newswires in North America. So we do a lot of press release distribution. We're a transfer agent. Along with that comes a lot of proxy and annual meeting management services. We host around 300 or 400 earnings calls and webcasts every quarter for our clients. And then we build, host, and maintain investor relations websites, as well as provide peer analysis and targeting solutions for shareholder targeting solutions. Then we host investor hotlines such as whistleblower or material request lines as well for many of our clients. So let's talk a little bit now about the alliance offerings that we're going to be putting together here and offering to the OTCQX and QB listed issuers. First and foremost is Newswire. These are press releases, right? This is earnings releases, product announcements, any news that needs to go across the wire out to the general public. These are full North American releases, FD disclosure compliant. To be able to make sure that you can get your news into everywhere that you need to be. And as Mary discussed, every OTCQX and QB client, the OTC Markets has been gracious enough to offer everybody 2 free press releases. So if nothing else, I think that you should definitely take advantage of that. Along with that, we have a compliance package that is services or software, right? So services is a full outsourced function of being able to file your documents with the SEC's Edgar database, where our staff, who's all based here in Raleigh, North Carolina, are going to convert those documents and file them with the SEC. We don't outsource anything to India, Pakistan, or any other place. Everybody that you would talk to is based here in the United States. And then we also offer software for you to be able to manage and file these documents yourself. Desktop publishing software has come to the point in the last couple of years where if you can manage a Word document, you can get your SEC documents filed with the SEC. And then on the communication side of things, we're offering a mini IR package, which is a mini IR site. Basically, it handles all of the requirements and the best practices for what your investor relations website should look like on an easy, simple, and basic level, something that's geared towards a smaller microcap company. And then webcasts, right? Quarterly webcasts are a really good way to make sure that you're touching your shareholder base and that you're communicating with them and any other potential shareholders on a quarterly basis about what the earnings are. And then so as we get into the next piece of this, the pricing, right? This is always the first thing that comes up is how much do these things cost? So we want to make sure that we show you this pricing. Mary's going to walk you through the OTCIQ and show you a little bit about how to access these things, and the pricing is all out there. But the news distribution, and these are full North American news releases, right? So this gives you all of North America for a flat fixed fee of $395.95, or you can pick up a 4-pack for just under $1,200. If you wanted Edgar service, right, we have a per page option, which is only $9 a page. If you want a 250-page block, it's only $2,000. The compliance software, which functions to be able to handle all of the SEC filings that you're going to need, is going to be a flat fixed fee of $4,500. If you want to add the XBRL into that, then it's just under $7,200. A webcasting 4-pack under $1,900. Mini IR site under $1,500. And all of these are for the year, right? So this isn't monthly, this isn't quarterly, this is for the year. Now, as we get into the bundles, this is where the value of these already discounted prices really start to come into the forefront. This newswire and webcasting bundle is literally all of your earnings releases and all of your earnings webcasts for under $2,800 for the year. Newswire and mini IR, your 4 earnings releases and your investor relations website for under $2,500 for the year. And this complete subscription, this is the one where the value is absolutely hands down the most, is everything that you're going to need as a public company for the year. 8 press releases, your investor relations website, your webcasts, all of your Edgar and XBRL for $10,153.71. Just simply put, that's an unbelievable value. So now that we've gone through some of these things, I'm going to turn it back over to Mary, who is going to walk you through how to access all of the things that we've talked about through the OTCIQ platform.
Equally as useful. We'll now go ahead and dive into some questions. So the first one I have here, I guess, James, you can probably take the lead on. I'm just going to ask, is it possible to be able to customize these packages?
Yes, there's absolutely different ways to customize the different packages, right? We can go through and talk with each particular issuer about what it is that their situation is going to denote to be able to give them everything it is that they're going to need within the program.
Great. This next question here, I will go ahead and give the answer to because it's directly related to OTCIQ. So the question is, I do not see the Issuer Direct tab when I'm in my OTCIQ account. If you're an OTCQB or OTCQX company, absolutely reach out to me. My contact information is here on the screen. That is something that we could take a look at. but likely what's taking place is you're an OTC Pink company. As we mentioned in the beginning of the presentation, these offerings are exclusively for our OTCQB and OTCQX companies. The Pink companies do have access to use the news release distribution, but the free press releases and the entire suite of IssuerDirect packages, again, are just for the OTCQB and OTCQX companies. So James, another question for you. Will you provide us access to the demo account so that we can look through it and share it with other members of our management team to be able to review it in detail?
So that's a great question. And the answer to that is we will be able to set up additional private demos so that we can walk everybody through the platform to show you exactly how it works and how everything needs to happen. One of the things that's important to understand about the package is that this is not something where you're going to get a login and then get abandoned. Our staff is available 24 hours a day to be able to help through any issues, and we provide full training and onboarding of the package or of the platform up front, so that every new user that you have to the system is going to be given a baseline of training to be able to make sure that they are successful. And our staff is here to be able to walk through all of the things that are going to happen within production to be able to get those things done. I know that's a little bit more than what the question asked, but yes, absolutely, we can set up additional demos for whoever it is that needs to come on there and take a look. Additionally, hosted on the OTC's website, this webinar will be archived for anybody else who wants to come and take a look at it.
Yeah, this will be added to our resource library. So if there's any additional follow-up questions, of course, to a recorded webinar, if you're listening in now as it's recorded, please shoot either James or myself an email. Our contact information, again, is here on the screen. Moving quickly into the next question. Again, it's an OTCIQ related question, which says, I do not have access to OTCIQ. How can I get a login? The best way to go about this is to reach out to me quickly, and we could figure out who the primary login is for your company. It's really an easy online form that I can send you by email, and you just need an officer at the company to complete that. We do not have a limit on the number of users to an OTCIQ account. So right now, if it's just the CEO and CFO, but you would like an office manager to have access to be able to take advantage of IssuerDirect's products, of course, that's something that we can easily set up for you. Which actually, James, I have a question for you now. Is there a limit to the number of users with the IssuerDirect platform?
So good question. So there is not a limit to the number of users that we can have within the system. Within the OTC Alliance, the basic package for things like access to the software is for one single user. And so there is an option to be able to add additional users whenever you need to.
Okay, great. And can you walk us through again just what that looks like when you're using your filing attorneys or whoever it might be, third parties working through your filings?
Yeah, and that's a good question too, right? Is that the way that we've set the program up is so that it's not a situation where you have to abide by our rules, right, or our processes. We've built these programs and our solution sets to be able to fit within your reporting processes. And if that means working with the attorneys, then that's absolutely what we will do. We do that all day long. Our staff is constantly in contact with attorneys and auditors of our clients to be able to help mitigate the costs of getting these things reported. Or if that is training individual outside service providers on how to use the software to file. We're here to be able to handle all of those things.
Great. Well, that's it for questions. I want to thank everyone for joining us today on the webinar. And James, thank you as well for giving us the demonstration.
Well, thank you, Mary, and thank everybody else. And I hope everybody has a good week.
Yeah, have a great week, everyone. Bye-bye.